Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. I am Jay Theo, and today we're going to be talking about my 5 key needs when it comes to entering a gay relationship. Now, if you see my videos, you know that I'm single and I have not been in a serious relationship, but I still have needs that I'm looking for when I come to pursuing a gay relationship. And I really want to open this conversation and see if you guys also share some of the same sentiments when it comes to needs when we're looking to enter a gay relationship, and also see if any of these needs have ever been a deal breaker or a reason why you might have ended a gay relationship because these needs weren't being met. But before we get to all that, I do want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. We are over 600 subscribers now, guys. I'm super excited about that. Shout out to everybody who's been liking, commenting, sharing my videos, you know, really adding to the conversation. I really appreciate it, guys. So stay tuned in. We're gonna keep pumping out more content. I recently just got back from New York. I went out to New York to celebrate a new job opportunity and to turn up with some friends. So I had a really good time going to day parties in Brooklyn, going shopping, had some really good food, just having a really good time. I used to live out in New York, so it was just a really fun time seeing some old friends and turning up. So guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into this video and let's discuss my 5 key needs for entering a potential gay relationship. Alright guys, so the first need that I would like to discuss, which to me, it is a very important one, is gonna be emotional intelligence. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because when it comes to being in a gay relationship, there's 2 men in the equation. In a hetero relationship, there's a woman and a man, and then a lesbian relationship, there's 2 women. And honestly, I think women, in my opinion, and from what studies show, women just have a way stronger level of emotional intelligence when it comes to managing relationships. It is the way that women are raised in society. They are raised in a way to be more nurturing, more caring, more understanding, whereas men were raised to be more competitive and not really to care too much about our emotions. So studies have shown that women far exceed us with their levels of emotional intelligence. Now don't get me wrong, I think men can have a strong level of emotional intelligence, and I do think that I have a pretty strong level, but we also do have pitfalls that we face just due by the fact that in society we were raised a lot differently. So I really wanted to bring it up and just say, you know, at the end of the day, it's not 100% men's fault for the ways that we are, but those nuances do come up when there's 2 men in a relationship and there's no women to kind of counteract some of the lack thereof in emotional intelligence. That's why this need is super key for me when it comes to entering a relationship. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, if emotional intelligence is something that's usually not that high in men, then why do I value it so much? Well, I think we all as people can grow and learn and build any type of intelligence or any type of skill within ourselves. And I feel like emotional intelligence is something else that we can grow, learn, develop. I definitely think that I've been in therapy and I've sought after ways to really grow my emotional intelligence, but I think other men, we also can do that as well. And I'm looking for a partner that is open to growing and building, and someone who also has a pretty good foundation with their emotional intelligence. So just to kind of bring you guys up to speed on what emotional intelligence is, I'm gonna read off the definition, and then I'm gonna speak to the 5 different components of emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is our ability to use, understand, and manage our emotions in positive ways. So that's the one thing about men is a lot of us, we don't know how to use our emotions in a positive way. A lot of our emotions are usually tied to like anger, violence, frustration, very negative, intense feelings. And the 5 components that speak to our emotional intelligence are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. So these are the things that we as human beings all factor into our emotional intelligence. And those are things, if you kind of hear me speak to them, those are things that men don't always have an up and up on. So with all that being said, emotional intelligence is key. I think it's really important for me because I just want to be able to have a partner where we can talk about our emotions, we can talk about our feelings, and doesn't have to be assumptions, and that we can regulate and manage our feelings to where we are avoiding anger, frustration, and violence. That's really what I'm looking for with a partner. Also, I want a partner who does have a level of social skills and someone who can be empathetic in times where it's warranted. And I want somebody to be able to understand me and be willing to put their self in my shoes if I'm going through something or going through a problem. And vice versa when I'm in a gay relationship. So that's why emotional intelligence is super key for me. And honestly, yes, it's my #1 when it comes to pursuing a potential gay relationship. Next on the list for what I think is super important when it comes to pursuing a gay relationship is communication, communication, communication. I cannot stress this enough. Being that I have dated my fair share of guys, I've noticed one big issue that I have when I'm dating guys is the communication. Guys don't always say what they mean, or they expect you to understand what they mean, and it's really frustrating because it's like if we're not talking and we're not explaining ourselves, then how can we even get to a problem to then even be able to solve a problem? So I am definitely looking for somebody who can communicate, and sometimes honestly over communicate. I think in most situations over communication is key, and really making sure that you're getting your point across and being assertive. Being assertive is so important, having confidence in what you say, saying what you mean and meaning what you say. So for me, communication is super important. I really feel like it adds to the value of the relationship. Also, conversation and building connection through communication is also super important to me. So even just regular conversation, being able to talk through things and develop concepts together and viewpoints on things together is super important to me. So communication and conversation is super key, and you know, it's something that a need that I have when I'm entering a gay relationship. Also, I think with communication, you can avoid a lot of drama, a lot of issues if you just are straightforward and you say what's really on your mind. Okay, next on the list, which is a little adult but super important to me, and I'm pretty sure it's super important to a lot of you guys, is sexual liberation. I need my partner to enjoy sex, to want to be open-minded and grow with sex, and also not ashamed of it. Like I hate that we live in a country where we're in such a sex-negative country, where we don't talk about our sexual health, we don't talk about wants and desires and needs, and we don't even talk about if we are enjoying or not enjoying sex. So I definitely want a partner who is sexually liberated, who is open to talk about sex, so that if we do have issues in the bedroom that we can talk about it. Also want someone who's open to talk about their sexual health. As you guys have seen in my other videos, you know, there's a lot of, you know, problems when it comes to HIV and STIs in the gay community, and especially in the Black gay community. So I definitely want someone who's aware of their sexual health, who's also open to talk about it. I also want somebody who wants to change it up and have fun. I don't want to be doing the same thing for 20 years, 30 years with one person. I want us to be able to change it up, do something different, to make sure that we can keep that bond tight between each other when it comes to our sexual connection. So key for me is sexual liberation. Someone also is open-minded, open to trying new things. At the end of the day, if we're not growing, we're dying. So I want to grow sexually as well with my partner. I want us to try new things, figure out what we like, what we don't like, and feel free and feel able to communicate and discuss those feelings when it comes to our sex life. So definitely a key for me is sexual liberation and the openness to discuss and move forward and grow with our sexual relationship. So next on the list is super important to me as a need for when I'm entering a potential gay relationship is a partner that understands calmness and peace. Being that I did grow up in a household where we did have a lot of arguments, sometimes even violence, I definitely really want to find a partner who can regulate their emotions to where they can find a level of calmness, they can find a level of peace, even if we are having a confrontation or a tiff. I don't want to have a debate or have a disagreement with my partner and then it's leading to yelling matches and potential violence. I don't want that. I want a man who can bring himself down to a calm level, who wants to solve issues with peace, with communication, with talking things through, and someone who can be understanding and, like I said earlier, empathetic. So calmness and peace in a relationship is super important to me. I don't want to argue all the time. I don't want to be stressed all the time. I just don't want that level of drama and negativity in my life. I just feel like when it comes to being two men in a relationship, I think that sometimes a lot of like testosterone and egos can sometimes become combative, and I really just want a partner who's not always trying to fight, but someone who's willing to be calm, peaceful, and someone who really wants to take a more calm and peaceful approach to solving our confrontations and finding solutions for our relationship. And last but not least, something that is super important to me, I know I keep saying that about everything, has to be the desire to grow. The desire to grow. Like I said earlier, and I heard this on this own show, Put a Ring on It, the therapist that hosts the show, she was like, if you are not growing, you are dying. I need a partner that has a desire to grow, that has a desire to continue to grow, to continue to live, to continue to be a better person. I do not do well with stagnant comfort, people that just want to sit and not change and not saying change, but sit and not grow and be a more dynamic person. Now that doesn't mean you have to be out here shooting for the stars with ambition or trying to meet every goal in the book, but just someone who continues to challenge themselves, continues to strive to push themselves to be a better version of themselves. Whether that's working out, diet, health, reading books, learning, being more compassionate, learning how to build better relations with their family. Whatever the case is, just someone who wants to grow. I feel like I'm someone who, I like to grow, I like to challenge myself, and I definitely need a partner who's open to growing and has a desire to grow. And someone who wants to do that, who finds it fun to try new things, to expose themselves to new opportunities, and to really challenge themselves. I really feel that is a need for me when I'm entering a gay relationship. So guys, I hope all those different needs you guys can relate to. If you guys feel that you do relate, or if you guys have any issues with some of those different needs, please let me know in the comments. I would love to chat up and discuss it with you. But I definitely think these are a great conversation to start having when we are looking at what we are actually looking for in a gay relationship. I think sometimes we enter relationships just because we want a partner, we like the idea of a relationship, but what actually are we looking for in a relationship? Do you know what you actually need in a relationship? Have you used self-awareness to understand yourself, to understand where there could be some pitfalls where you are in a relationship, and then what you're looking for in a relationship? So like I said, definitely cannot wait to start these discussions and hear what you guys have to say in the comments. So guys, with all that being said, please be sure to like and subscribe and continue to stay tuned on my latest videos. I'll be continuing to post more content now that I'm back in LA. So guys, as always, do your best to stay positive, stay curious, and I will see you guys on the next video.